What's up guys, it's me Jeremy, and today I want to talk about a pretty advanced tactic, so bear with me here, and that is bluffing. Let's get started. So if you're watching this, then you probably know what baiting is, and for those who don't, it's where you try to trick your opponent into thinking that you are weaker than you actually are, then pull out something like an ally coming into gank, or maybe just a lot of burst damage. Bluffing, however, is kind of like the opposite of baiting. Instead of pretending that you don't have an advantage, you pretend that you do have an advantage. Bluffing is a great way to see how your opponents will react to a particular situation. For example, if my jungler is out of sight, then I might bluff a gank by randomly attempting to fight after playing defensively. Assuming that they do not have solid ward coverage, my opponents will likely end up thinking that they are being ganked, and from there, I can see how they will react. If they simply just fight us, then I could take advantage of that by having my jungler come in for an actual gank, and then execute the same tactic, resulting in a fight where your jungler can come in easily. Whereas if they decide to back off when I bluff a gank, then that means that playing aggressive versus my opponents is going to be a good idea from there on when my jungler is hidden, either because they're just scared of me, or my jungler is creating enough pressure by not being visible on the map. That bluffed gank can easily put me in an advantageous situation since it gives me a solid read on my opponents. The same strategies can be used for things like tower dives to see if my opponents are vulnerable, fight initiations to see how scared my opponents are of me, roams to see if you can actually roam safely, objectives to see if the opponents will respond, and other things like that. You want to use bluffs to get a read on your opponents and see how they will react to you. Then you can change your playstyle to be more aggressive, more passive, or find a way to help your team create an advantage. If anything, you can use bluffs to see if the thing you are bluffing is actually possible, and that is especially true with roams and tower dives. Bluffs are a great way to see how your opponent will respond to those situations. Now obviously bluffing is not a perfect strategy. All it takes to deal with a bluff is to know that it's a bluff, so be careful. Wards are definitely the biggest counters to bluffs. So being aware of your opponent's wards is a great thing to do, but that isn't always possible. So you want to bluff in a way that is low risk. Bluff in a way that involves a very low commitment and doesn't actually use up very much. For example, if I want to bluff a fight, I might just walk up to my opponents in an aggressive way, but without actually using any abilities or overextending significantly. It doesn't take much to execute a bluff properly. Just know that if the thing you are trying to bluff is known to your opponent, such as if you bluff a gank and then your jungler shows top, it's going to be a lot easier for them to turn it around onto you. So just be aware what makes it known to your opponent that you are bluffing, and be sure to play around that. My name is Jeremy, and that's it for my video on bluffing. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out some of my others on the screen right now, or stay connected at facebook.com/gamingcurios. I'd love if you could support me with a like, and make sure to subscribe for some more awesome content in the future if you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.